Yeah, we have some that we share back and forth, but the ones in particularly the player characters and the main character in the television show they're called arc hunters, and essentially what they do is they are the big badasses that can go to these arc falls that rain down from the sky and survive them and get the treasure from them. An average person can't do that. The player characters and the main character from the television show can. So they're one of the few people, that really have that kind of skill set to pull it off.
From the beginning, we knew that with a science fiction property, exciting new science fiction property, we really wanted to make sure that action was visceral and exciting, and so we really felt like it was important for a game like ours that was set in a brand new sci-fi universe, that we wanted to have that visceral action. So.
You get more from watching the TV show and playing the game and vice versa. It's not required. You will be able to go into the game and know what's going on and be able to really figure things out without having to watch a television show. But it's kind of interesting in that, for example, you could be at a party to watch the television show, and if you're playing the game, you know more about what's going on than the people around you, and that's sort of how it works. We didn't want to make it a requirement because some people who watch the television show may not want to play games at all, and some people who are playing the game may just not want to watch the television show.
We live in a unique place. A new world.
Is this St. Louis?
Once.
This town is worth fighting for.
You lack respect. They're planning to attack right after dark.
What's it gonna be? Pointless bloodshed? Or are we gonna work out our differences together?
Yeah, it has a lot of scale. It has a lot of. It's very ambitious. It's very ambitious, and not a terribly expensive show. We were fighting. We had very tight budget constraints, and took a lot of cleverness. Not to pat myself on the back, but it took a lot of deep thought and a lot of cooperation between everybody to make something like that without unlimited finances.
Actually, the game isn't based on the TV show. The core concept was conceived as both a television show and a video game at the same time. So in partnership with Sci-Fi, we've developed this brand new science fiction universe, and the idea is that we're offering two windows into the same world. So players who watch the television show will have a richer experience, or viewers of the television show, they really want to get into really enjoy the universe and want to invest in it more, they can get into the game, and the two things together add up to a bigger whole.
There is ammo. There's ammo. There's also, you can get a bunch of different weapons and you can equip those weapons. You can equip 2 at a time. And then there's also a modification system. So you could get new barrels, or you could get new scopes, or new rifle butts, or new clips, all that kind of stuff that you can actually plug into the weapons themselves. So it's a really robust itemization system. It's outfits. Outfits do not have an armor number to them. When we did have it at one point, but we discovered that when people shoot their gun at something, they want it to do the damage they expect, and armor mitigating that damage really frustrated people, particularly when we did focus groups. So we went with just a straight outfit system.
Predicting the future's a sucker's game.
Go ahead, get killed.
I got no intention of dying today.
The town's finished. All we can do now is run.
You lack respect. Do not get in my way.
Is this St. Louis?
Once.
There are 13. Well, the pilot counts as 2, so there's 11 more, and they'll all be released, once a week starting April 15th.
They each have their own unique story, so they're each kind of, offering a different picture into this world. So the things that are going on within San Francisco are about, the people and the characters that exist within San Francisco, as much as the things that are going on in St. Louis are about those things. However, things that affect the overall world affect both. And that's one of the key things is over the course of the television show, we'll be updating the game to reflect major things that have happened within the world, and as well as vice versa. As things happen within the game, it'll be reflected within the TV show. We have situations like characters that move from the game to the TV show and vice versa.
No, we have some special ones, but they communicate constantly, or at least when the season was being developed and as they were shooting, they talked constantly with the series developers. They're really focused on the series, so we couldn't have them also write our game, but that communication was constantly going on.
That we hope that you can, if you play the game and never see the show, you'll have a full game experience. And if you just watch the show and you never play the game, that you'll be satisfied that the show's good enough without it. What we're hoping is that there's this new thing, that if you do both, if you can't get enough of the world of Defiance and play the game and watch the show, that you'll have this rich, deep experience that's really never been done before.
Everything you do within the game, you earn experience. So whether you're playing cooperatively to do large events that we call arc falls, or whether you're doing missions, or whether you're playing competitively in our open world combat, which we call Shadow Wars, or even the smaller scale battlefield PvP, player versus player battles, all of that you earn experience, and it all is contributing towards the advancement of your character. The goal is for it to be a seamless experience. So whether you're in there playing through one of the storyline missions with your buddies, and you all queue up for a Shadow War, then you can move into that seamlessly and take all the loot and experience that you've earned in that co-op world into your player versus player play.
One of the main things that we do for our loot is you can get all sorts of different types. You can get some shields, you can get some outfits, you can get new weapons, grenades, all that kind of stuff. But the difference is when you see a loot drop, it's your loot. It's not whoever gets there first gets that loot. So we don't have what we always call ninja looting of, oh, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna wait till you kill that thing and then I'm gonna steal everything from it. It's personal loot system.
So the ego grid is the way that the players can totally customize their experience. Your ego gives your Arc Hunter special abilities, and as you earn experience, you earn ego points, ego units that you can then apply on this grid to totally customize your character. You start with one of 4 ego powers, and then branching out from there, you can navigate across the grid as you spend your points to totally create custom builds. And you can then equip those and save those out as loadouts, and because you can only have a certain number based off how experienced you are. You can only have a certain number of active ego abilities, and so you save off certain loadouts for those, and you can switch between them as the situation dictates as you're playing the game. So you might have one build that's really good for fighting Shadow Wars, and you can switch between that and the one that you tailor to fight down big Arcfall bosses, for example.
Yes, we call them clans, but they're essentially what you would expect from a massive online guild. But we also have a friends list. You can join groups. You can do all that stuff. You can have people join your group from anywhere in the world. You can add them to your friend or clan from anywhere in the world. So yeah, we have all those persistent social systems as well as allowing you to communicate directly with people and directly with people in your clan or whatnot. Join voiceover groups and all that kind of stuff.
there's co-op instances, and for 1 to 4 players, and you can go in and they progress, and it's a more linear kind of traditional shooter co-op experience, and lots of cool big boss battles, and each one has its own little story that it's telling, and you can queue up for those, and we have full matchmaking to get you into those, and so you can play those at any time. Yeah, PvP is a big portion of the game. We have both open world PvP in the form of Shadow Wars, and then we also have instance battle maps where it's smaller groups of players, pitted on 2 different teams. It's all team based, and we have a couple different modes, and that's something that as we go, because we are a live game, we're going to be constantly adding to both the co-op end of the game as well as the PvP end of the game.
Now we call it Defiance.
You're new in town.
How can you tell?
There is an army coming.
You're headed straight for Defiance. A race of killing machines. They live for war.
Let's get out of here.
There are kids in this town.
I don't care.
Yes, you do care. I know you better than that. I raised you better than that. You all know what to do.